Come on in. This is Deb with Art and Grace. I am so glad to be here tonight. Hopefully, you guys are having a great day and we'll have some join us for a cute little fun nutcracker. This is just a 4-inch canvas, so it's going to be pretty quick and easy. So, I hope you guys are going to come and join the fun. I'm going to use my old palette. You know, it's full of paint, but that's okay. You can just keep painting right over it. In fact, maybe let's go ahead and mix our resin. I think because this is going to be a quick one. Let's do our resin first. And I guess I'll leave that going because I am loving this candle. Shout out to Hobby Lobby. Have y'all ever bought their candles like this? It smells so good and just kind of sets the mood. You guys, it's so important to take time for yourself to do something creative. I'm telling my ladies all the time to slow down. You know, the holidays are going to get busy, things are going to pick up, but you know, take time for yourself. Schedule it in. Tell people you're busy and you're busy doing some art, right? Hi Betty, hi Marcia. Hello Susan and Brenda and Mickey. I'm glad y'all are here. And if there's others, hello. Can y'all see me okay and hear everything? Because it is, let me get out and get back in. It's for some reason not showing that I'm live on my end. So I hope that we are. Let me just double check. Yeah, it says, oh, well, it says I'm live, but it doesn't let me click on it. So as long as we're live, oh dear, why does it do that to me? Let's see up here. Let me look at my phone. Hi, Brookie. Hello, Jane from Pennsylvania. Okay, so if somebody will just tell me, yes, you're live. I mean, I'm sure we are. It says live, but on my iPad, you know, there is nothing happening. So, okay, anyway, so we're going to do a little 4-inch painting. I'm going to go ahead and mix up my resin. We will not need very much, so I'll just do it in this cup, this little measuring cup here. So I use art resin, and if you are not familiar with resin, do your research because you really do, you know, need to be using something that is safe for you and your family. I'm going to go ahead and do an ounce because I do have an ornament to resin. And I think that will probably, it may be a little, it may not be, but I'm thinking I may have a little left to do that ornament, but I may not. We'll see. So I'm just pouring exactly to the line. It's a 1-to-1 ratio. So if you use half an ounce of one, you're going to use half an ounce of the other. And so that was my resin with the black lid. Put the lid back and then set that aside. And then now we're going to pour some hardener in there. And we will need a half an ounce of the hardener. I did go over on that resin, so I am going to go over on my hardener just a touch. I try to always go right to the line, but not being able to see comments has me thrown off, so I wasn't too careful as I usually am. And then I'm going to set a little timer here for 3 minutes. And we will stir. Normally I have a larger cup, but for just the 1 ounce, I'm going to make this work tonight and just stir these together. So art resin is my go-to, and I tell a lot of people, I get messages a lot with, you know, are there any other resins you recommend? I know art resin's a little pricey, things like that. And I'm going to be honest, no. I would say, you know, listen, there is nobody on a tighter budget than me. Well, I can't say nobody, but we are on a very tight budget. And it's just something that I prioritize because of our health. My mom had a lung issue, never smoked a day in her life. And I have a lot of allergy issues pretty much year round. And my husband's had cancer. I have had 2 cancer scares. So, no, I'm not going to ever, you know, recommend something that I don't feel is as safe as this. I'm not an affiliate. I don't get 1 penny for telling you guys this, but you know, that's just my opinion, and you can you know, ignore it if you choose, that's fine. But I just do recommend reading, doing your research. Don't trust a package to say it's safe. You know, do the research and see what the chemicals can do to you. All of that being said, you know, like I said, I use art resin. It's the 1-to-1 ratio. So if you're using 1 ounce of resin, you use 1 ounce of hardener, and their website has a calculator. So if you're using like an 8x10 or a 24 by whatever 20, you can just go to their website, plug in the size you're using of substrate, and it will tell you how much you need. So that is, it just takes all the guesswork, and it's always the perfect amount. And you always get a good cure. I've never had any issues. Now, you want to stir kind of slow and easy, not too fast, and you'll reduce bubbles that way. If you stir really fast, you'll get so many bubbles, and some of them are micro bubbles that you don't really see, but they're in there. So I try to remember to slow down, because the less bubbles, you know, the prettier your project is. And I never have any issue by just going by the rules. You know what I mean? If you'll just stick to the rules with resin, you'll do well. So always wear your gloves. Try to get your exact measurements, and then stirring slow and easy. We have about 20 seconds left. Every so often I'm scraping the stick and getting that work back down there. I haven't done it as much on this round, but that's also important, just to get everything mixed together. And you see that we don't have to mix it. You know, we can just slow and easy wins the race. It all does get mixed well together. There's our timer. So let me give it, I'm going to get that stick kind of cleaned off. I really got it to the brim. And I can see my gloves are messy. So let me just set that aside. And I'm going to take my gloves off because, see, I got that cup a little too full. I like to really use the larger cup, but I was trying to, you know, be cost efficient. And I thought, I'm just going to use this little medicine cup. So we're going to paint our little nutcracker. I'm going to do a background, and then we'll draw him on and then paint it together. So I'm using white pearl as my background. Gold would be pretty too. Let me think. No, because I have gold on him. So just some white pearl will be a nice simple background. Any brush will work. This is just a 1/2 inch flat brush. We're just going to get this covered, because most of our canvas will be covered with our little nutcracker. Tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to try to open my laptop as I paint to see if I can see your comments on it. Maybe I'll get a new iPad for Christmas. How about that? Because this one does that sometimes where I can't see comments. Ooh, okay. Hold up. Is it showing us sideways again, even though I did it right? Are you serious? It is? How can this be? How can this be? Is that better? What the heck, you guys? Hold up. Are we better now? Because I did have it set correctly. Somebody let me know. I'm looking for comments. Yours is fine, because it's still showing me as sideways. So it can't be fine. Okay, let's see. Get my hand in it. There's this. Here's my little cup. It is, okay, now, yeah, it's still showing. Is that? Maybe that's better. What in the world? You guys, please bear with me. I know that I get on y'all's nerves because I'm so bad with tech, but it is so frustrating. I try so hard. Okay, are we right? I tell you what I need to do. I need to not go live and just stick with videos. I can do videos. It's normal, Brookie. Are you sure? Why is my computer, how could it be normal for you and not for me? Sideways. But I'm going to keep on. And I'll tell you what I'll do. When I get off and can re-watch the video, if it's wrong, I will re-record it and just upload you guys a video because this is going to be a cute painting and I don't want you to have to look at it sideways. It's weird now, Brooke. Okay. See. It's sideways now. You prefer live. Oh, do you, Carrie? Oh, and there goes my light. It's literally like the bad news bears around here. Like I cannot. I think that that's maybe right. Okay, so it may be long ways. I think what you're saying is right, is long ways. See, it was supposed to be sideways. What way do you want the screen to be? Yours says vertical. It's supposed to be horizontal so that it is, you know, more of a wide screen. And so I chose that when I was choosing which way to go. But it's definitely vertical. It's making me go live vertical, regardless of what I chose. So, you know, once before it did this and I thought, well, that was probably my fault, but I was really careful this time to be sure. And yeah, it's still doing it. So anyway, enough of that. So all we're doing is getting a background of white pearl on our little 4-inch canvas. I like these thicker based canvases. They have a 1.5-inch frame, wood frame. Should have shown y'all that first, but see, a nice thick wood frame in there. And that allows you to set them on a shelf or, you know, a table, a desk, whatever. I mean, you can hang it up, but at 4 inches, you know, it's just probably perfect for a little shelf or something, or a desk. And so that's what we're doing. Okay, Brookie, well, I'm going to thank you, Brenda. I'm so glad you're all here. I see Marcia and Leanne. Thank you, Jane, for that comment. Hi, Teresa, Brenda. Anybody else? I'm sorry if I missed saying hi to you. Okay, let me dry this. And then we'll sketch on a little nutcracker and paint him. So tell me if you've got your Christmas decor up yet. If you're in my Facebook group, you saw, I put it in the VIP group, that my daughter did our Christmas tree today. She is like an interior decorator. She's so good at decorating. And it is so pretty. I'll put a picture or a video in there later, but I've been in here all day just about working, and she sent me a video of our dog just giving her fits. And I'm like, yep, sorry, I'm not on duty today. So, let's see, that's awful hot. Okay, I'm going to just kind of sketch on, I think, our little nutcracker so that you guys can see, or maybe, yeah, I'll sketch him. I might just do on a piece of paper. so that you can see. I like to show everybody how to draw things, not just do it real quick, but I want to show you. So let's say that this is our canvas. And I also, here's my trick, is I'll kind of cut it in half. And so, you know, if it helps you to do the whole thing, you can. Actually, let's bring him to the top. So here's his hat, you know, something like that. And then we want a little bill for the hat. And then face. You can just kind of make him, remember, well, if you haven't watched me before, I like to teach with shapes. So everything you can break down into a shape, and it's so much easier to paint. So we've got a square, we've got another square, we have a half circle. Basically, you know, it can be a little different, but I'm going to bring this out a little further and then have that meet. And there's your little brim for his hat. We're going to give him hair on either side. And then we'll also break up his face. So cut that in half. And we're going to have his eyes up at the top. So there's a couple of eyebrows. A square. For his nose, I just do a couple of lines, something like that. And then mustache. Y'all are going to see how bad I am at doing the left. But see, they're never the same. Never. The reason that I tell y'all to do half is because you can fold your paper in half. Once you get the half, you know, usually like me, the right is always better. So once I do that, then I can just kind of go over what I want and then erase this. Now watch this little trick. And fold it in half this way. Did I get it at the right half? I'm not sure. And then you just kind of, I can kind of see where the mustache is, somewhere right around here. And just kind of go over it. And then you've got it over here. So that's how you can get kind of a more exact when you're doing something and you're having trouble getting it exact. Something like that. Let's give him a little mouth, those little teeth. And then a little beard. Now, see, we're probably running off of our canvas. We don't have a lot of room. And then bring a line out. And I'm going to say not that far, but something like that. There's his arms. And that's about it. You know, you probably don't have probably something like that. So see, there's your little guy. So I'm going to just kind of lightly do that on here. Just to kind of get my placement. I kind of had to draw it out on paper though to kind of be sure I knew exactly what I wanted to do. Come out a little ways. Just kind of see. If I don't feel like I got it really good in center, it's okay. You can erase. It's not a big deal. Okay, and then we're going to bring out his shoulders and come down. And come back up and we'll do kind of eyebrows. Little nose. Let's go ahead and do his teeth here. Oh, that wasn't as bad as it could have been. Like I said, usually my left is not the same or quite the same. So anyway, that's kind of, and then our beard. We're going to give him a beard. Somewhere like that. that gives me a base, or you know, something to go with. Oh, thank you guys. Hi, Vicky. Hi, Teresa. Let's see who else I missed. Oh, one Navy is so funny. She is, what do you call it? Strong-willed. I mean, she's funny. She's a good dog. She's, you know, she's real smart. She has had virtually no accidents. I mean, she is so smart. I don't know if they had her trained or what, but she has not been, you know, any trouble at all as far as potty. She's just a super easy to train dog. I'm going to get out some black, some white, my A&M color. It's called Crimson, so I think that's actually what, Alabama. But we're gonna call it maroon. And oh, face. For his face, I've got this warm beige, and probably gonna put a little bit of this sable brown with it. And then maybe some navy. I pulled this royal navy. I don't know that I need the navy though. That was when I was going to do was going to do a long one and do pants. But I don't think I'm going to, you know, I can't obviously do that today. So get a little gold. Okay. We're going to start with a small brush, get it wet. Grab an extra paper towel. So I hope y'all told me. I'll have to look at the comments after because, you know, I'm just not able to see them while I'm live. I don't know what's up, but unless I stand up and look at my phone. So let's start at the top and do our little hat. And remember, you can, you don't have to stick with the tracer. You know, I always give everybody a tracer in my group to use, but sometimes when I'm painting live, you know, you just kind of go with what you want to do. So if you want to round everything out, you can. You don't have to stick with the tracer. But it does help to have the little guide, doesn't it? And tracers also are great for giving to your kids or grandkids when they come over. You know, let's say you've got grandkids coming for the holidays. Print out those tracers, y'all, and let them, you know, tell them, hey, I need to give a gift to somebody. Would you, you know, would you paint this for me? I don't know how y'all could bribe them, but I'm sure you could think of something. So just a small round brush is what I'm using, but any detail brush, because this is an awful small little painting that we're doing here. I'm going to kind of fix that hat a little. Okay. Then let's grab this face color. Add a little brown to it because that's awful light. And see if I can push it right up to that black without touching it. That would be amazing. But you guys, I hope that you can already feel the relaxation coming over you when you paint. Oh my goodness. And really anything creative. So some of y'all like to do junk journals and paper crafting, whatever it is, you know, take time to do that stuff even during the holidays. Honestly, you need it more now than normal because things do get hectic. Things are expensive. You may have to prepare food or clean a house. And don't neglect yourself, you know. Don't neglect doing what brings you joy or what lowers your blood pressure. Deb. I'm going to grab a baby wipe and see if I can maybe get that off. Thought I was being careful. can definitely cover it, but I'd much rather not have to mess with it. Okay, I think we're back in business. Hi, Sydney. How are you doing? I miss you. I hope you're doing good. How's everybody? I saw, oh, what was your post? Remember I commented, I can't remember now what it was, but I was glad to see, oh, you made some food or something. What was it? I have to remember to get on Facebook as me, not as my business, in order to see you guys' pages. Okay, there's his little face. Now for his beard, I like to mix a little bit of black and have a base of gray. So just black and white, and you've got some gray. We'll do that on his mustache as well. And this will be the base for his beard. Nutcrackers are they're always like popular. A lot of people collect them. A lot of people love the Nutcracker ballet. So you can't go wrong with painting this and giving it as a gift. Just about anybody would love to have it. I'm also going to use some gray for his hair for the base. So let's get some more gray mixed up here. And I like to do little circles. So just a little circle. I usually do 3 of them. Like that. That's just your base. We'll do a base of gray for his mustache. I know it's mixing with my tan, but that's fine because we're going to cover it mostly anyway. No Christmas decor up, Brenda said. Well, you're busy. You've been real busy. And I have a helper, so I probably wouldn't either. And a lot of people wait till after Thanksgiving. We used to always wait, but I don't care for fall decor, to be honest. And we don't really have fall in Texas. So I'm always so ready to get up Christmas that's what we do now. We just get it up early and enjoy it longer. And that makes me happy. Okay, let's let that stuff dry for now. And we're going to keep going. So I'm going to grab this crimson color with just a touch of black. Not much, but just a little bit. And our base color will be this dark maroon color. Kind of like an A&M color. You guys, we're doing so good. Does anybody keep up with college football? You may not. But if you don't, we're doing good. Now I'm going to take a little black and kind of just do those 2 arms right there with that to separate. We're doing really good. And so it's been really fun to watch. Now we did not play very good the first half of the game this week, and it was so frustrating. And I kind of made a joke about my blood pressure, but really, I mean, it's like so stressful to be an A&M fan because they almost always do that to us where they come back in the second half and actually play better. But like, if you can play good the whole time, you know, why don't you do it the whole time? Why do you have to get in trouble with the coach at halftime? I don't get it. But they're kids, you know, overall they're kids, so can't really complain. So let me know what team you root for if you do. Oops. Sometimes painting small is a little, you can see I like to go fast and messy, and I can't. When I paint small, I have to really be careful or I get it everywhere. You don't have as much room. Let's see. Seems they are especially popular. I missed it. Let's see. Yeah, Brenda, because they're doing well. They we normally play okay, but I mean, we're doing really good this season. So we're right now, I think, at number 3, maybe 2. I'm not even sure. I haven't seen this week, but we're doing good. We haven't lost a game. And so, yeah, we're they're talking about us. But we have a huge game to, I don't even want to speak it out loud, but we've got a really, you would think that I have money invested the way I freak out about them and yell. My son recorded me last time he was here. I sometimes yell at the TV, not in a bad way, just like, go, yeah, just cheering, huge cheering section. Okay, base coats, you guys, so bear with me. If you're thinking that doesn't look good, just you gotta trust the process. So I'm taking some gray. I'm gonna give his little hat a highlight. Just kind of highlight the top. Actually, now that I turned it, I'm gonna take this black and kind of finish it right here to make it look a little better there. Now, I've got embellishments, so I may not paint this, but what I did on my last one, let me find a detail brush. I took my detail brush and some gold. Here, I'll take the gold. And I did some, I don't want to do it on this one, but I just did some like little points like this all the way across. Like he's got some type of gold jewels across the top of his crown here. But this time I'm going to add these little pieces. That's why I don't really want to do too much. Well, I guess I can. I guess I can still paint it, and it'll just be underneath. So that way you get the full idea. It's hard to believe that the kids who play college football, they're getting paid millions now, and they're so young. I'm totally against it, but they didn't ask me, so I think it's absolutely insane to give young kids, young men, that kind of money at that age. Their brains aren't developed till what, 25? And if you've had a boy, you know. Yes, they're undefeated. It's just amazing what they're doing. Yes, yes. So great to watch. Makes it really fun because we've definitely had years where you want to put a bag over your head. And I like to wear my A&M gear, so, it's like, oh, no, I'm going to get a comment at the grocery store. I'm going to take this brush with just a little bit of that little sable brown that I used to kind of make a little nose. Hold on, I had a little drop. I didn't want to drop on my canvas. So this is just a sable brown. I'm going to just come in here and do that for the nose. We can go ahead and paint his mouth in. And if I was doing this on a larger canvas, you can do like you can do some flesh color, like pink, and then put your teeth. but since we only have this tiny little box, I'm just going to do like this, just the teeth here. We'll separate them in a minute. And then let's do some eyebrows. So I'm going to take the gray with this little detail brush still and put some little eyebrows up here. Oh, I should have done the white first. Let's grab white. I grab some plain white and fill in these little eyes. Just doing little squares, make it super easy. Thank y'all that have shared this video. I appreciate it. Also, if you have, bared with me and you've gotten to this point and you stuck it out through my camera debacle, I appreciate it. And if you enjoy this painting, then please subscribe and help me grow the channel. And it also helps me, watch time and all of that helps us creators to get monetized eventually. So I appreciate that more than you know. I'm getting closer. It feels discouraging when you think how far you have to go, but honestly, it's fine. It's the way it is, and I'm getting closer every day. I'm going to take some blue and do some little blue eyes. That one kind of went over the box. I could let it dry and then fix it, which would be the right thing to do, but I'm going to try to. Okay. See, the tracer does help because it's hard for me to get two things exactly the same. Like one eye keeps getting a little bigger than the other. I'll have to come over and try to make it a little better. It doesn't have to be perfect for sure. Now I'm going to take the same detail brush with a little black. Kind of outline. A cute card, this would be, just do this on some watercolor paper or some mixed media paper. You can blow up the tracer big. And then a dot and a dot. And then I usually touch down at least one other place in here with a little speck. Now let's give his eyebrows a little white. And then we're going to come over his mustache with that white. I just kind of put some swirls in it, but that has a nice gray background. And then white in his beard. Can y'all hear the dog toy? Surely not, but it's it's kind of loud squeaking in there. She's fun. And then swirls for his hair. You know how I do my Deb flowers? It's kind of similar. We're just putting some swirls in there. Very easy painting. It's challenging for me just because I don't paint small enough. So when I do paint on something small like this, I have to really be careful. Used to being pretty free and loose with it, but okay. Y'all still with me? Video of the new puppy was so cute. Oh, thanks. She is so fun and keeps us laughing for sure. Okay, we're gonna do his little teeth. So just take the tiniest amount of black. You probably can't even see it on my brush. It's so little. And we're gonna put a little line across here. And just kind of a very light outline. And then kind of divide it and see how many teeth you think you can get on there. I think I'm going to try to do, let's see, man, 3. I don't think I can get 4. They would be super tiny. I'll try to do 4. So, yeah, there's those 4 teeth. And let's take some black and also kind of outline. Let's give a few little things here in his eyebrows. Define is the right word, not outline. But then kind of give these, give everything a little bit. See how that makes it come to life a little bit? You know, it just really helps. A few in here. Just a feathering in here in his beard. I may want to, I think I'm going to bring his beard or his mustache in a little. So I'm just gonna, you can fix anything with acrylic paint. It's very forgiving. So see, I'm just adding a little more right there. And then I'll take my white and add a few. There, see, that's already better. And then there. Let's see what y'all are saying. I gotta stand up, I just can't see. Oh, thank you. Do we have, oh, hi, Patty. Glad you're here. Thank you. Ron's here. Hi, Ron. Aren't you? Oh, yes, I smell it. Oh, I thought you were watching the dog. Wait, what's going on? Somebody's got to watch the dog. Okay, I'm going to put some gold up here on his shoulders. You know, those little, the little thing like this that hangs down. Bring it out a little. Y'all got to get my daughter on here, or son. That may never happen. I mean, I've been doing this 5 years, and it's not ever happened. I wanted to have like a paint night where I teach them, but they're like, I'll do it, but not on camera. I don't like being on camera either. It's just part of it. Okay, now let's do another coat of our, you know, maroon or whatever we're calling this. This time I'm going to dip it down in a touch of white, not much. So I don't know if y'all can see that, but just a little bit of white. And we're going to kind of paint that on. So maroon and a touch of white. And I feel like I got too much. If it's too much, yeah, that's good. I'll have to go back over it. I don't want pink. I just want a lighter color here. I'm going to grab my black again and kind of define his arms. Super easy, but I think it'll be cute. Now he needs buttons. I'm going to dry this a little. Won't have to do much. And then we'll put some buttons on here. What in the world did I just do? Y'all saw me do that? I had no idea until I just leaned over to get... This video may need to be deleted. People be like, don't go to her for lessons. Look at this mess. If I have ever taught you anything in the VIP group, you guys let them know, because I promise I'm not always like this. I'm like this a lot, but not always. See, we can get it off. I'm sure I put my hand in it. Now we got to put it back though, so let me grab that brush. And a little bit of this, just to be sure we're... It's always something with me, you guys. I am a messy painter. Okay. But that's why this type of art is very forgiving. You don't have to be neat. You just need to know how to fix things. Okay, let's see if I can see comments over here again. Wasn't able to scroll. It does. It still says upcoming for my live. I don't know what the deal is. Okay. Let's do a couple of gold buttons. I'm going to do... You can use like a little dotting tool. That would be a great idea. Right as I said that, I was like, we'll just get one then. It'll get a lot easier to use a little dotting tool. And just load it up and then 1, that. And then I'm still going to take this brush and kind of draw like a chain from one to the other. Ooh, that was thick. Now we gotta thicken up the others. And the only other thing maybe is a little extra highlight. So like take white and there. Across his hat. Anytime I do whimsical paintings like this, you can really play around with, put some with your black and white and put some line work in. I think I'm gonna bring his beard down a little bit. Ooh, that was wet. Like that. Okay. That's it. Now let's do our resin. How about, let's move that aside. Let me dry this. Anytime you're doing resin on your artwork, you want to be sure that this is completely dry. Your resin will not react well if there's any moisture. So be sure it's good and dry. I don't prefer using a heat gun like this. I usually will just set things aside and let them dry on their own. But for time's sake, we're going to do this. Just be sure. If you hold this thing too close, it will just bubble up your paint because this thing gets like 400 degrees. Oh, did I put the wrong date on my, what is today? Yeah, I did. I bet I put the wrong date on my, no, I didn't. I did put today. I don't know why it's still showing pending, but anyway. Let's see. You love his curls? Yeah, exactly. Thank you, Patty. Yes, I mean, honestly, if you can stick with me, I know sometimes I get, so scatterbrained, but usually I can pull it out in the end and it all comes together. Let me grab another glove because I took mine off. Okay, so when you're ready for the resin, this thing's good and dry. Oh, you know what'll be cute too? Oh, y'all, I'm going to show you because you need to see this. This will be cute. I just had this idea because it looks kind of plain on the edges. So I'm going to put out some black and I'll use some of my maroon too, I think. But I'm going to take this black with just a little flat brush. I just grabbed the first flat brush I saw. This isn't even the one I would normally do. And just give it some stripes on the edges. And I just eyeball it because, like I said, this is considered whimsical art. It's fun and playful. It's not supposed to be perfect or fine art or anything like that. I used to try to do fine art, and I love and appreciate fine art. It's just not me. I am a whimsical person. I am kind of scatterbrained. I like to have fun with art and not feel pressure. So this is what makes me happy. I sure do appreciate the people who can do fine art. It's gorgeous. But usually can't do it in an hour, And I like to do things quick and go to the next. The only thing I do when I'm doing these is see how this one, I started it right on the edge. So I'll come over and, you know, have it come across a little bit. This one did not end on the edge, so I can do this one, which is perfect. It covers up my fingerprints where I made a mess. Oh, I think this is going to be cute. I used to do this a lot on my paintings, like for paint parties. It's just a fun way to add to your painting. It's easy. Okay. Now, when that dries, I'm sure I will add, I think I'll add like a little, oh, forget it. Let's just do it. It won't take 2 seconds, and my paint is here. So what I was going to say is I will just take a little bit of this maroon color and come along right on the edge or right beside, like, here's good. It's kind of close to that black, like this. And these are real cute. I did a Grinch painting one time. Well, it was the hand holding an ornament. And I did that lime green and green, regular green, along the edges. It was so cute. So see, and just do that along all the edges. I think that'll be super cute. Now I don't have to worry about that being dry because we're only putting resin on the top. But if you are fairly new to resin, you want to be sure and tape the sides of your canvas and the bottom of your canvas if you don't want the resin to go over and make a mess. And then you would be putting your item up on a block or a jar or something level. So you do need a level, and you can make sure your desk is level. This desk is level, but I usually put it on my other desk so I can still work here. But you would put it up on something so that if the resin goes over, it's not going to stick to your table. It'll just kind of stick to that tape that you've put down. Does that make sense? Let me know if, oh, I should have another glove. Let me grab another one. I was out of my little bucket, but I've got more. You can't do fine art either. Yeah, it's if it's not fun for us, then let's not do it, Do what's fun and what brings us joy, or what we can give to people that'll bring them some joy. So like I said, this is totally dry, so we can do this next step. Looking for something to scrape that. I'm not sure. Oh, it's gold paint. It's just a touch of gold. It'll be fine. So I'm just going to drizzle or pour a little bit of this on here, enough to cover the bottom, or just to have a light coat across the whole thing. And we did mix that at the very beginning of my live. So if you came in late, you can watch that part if you'd like to. But we went ahead and mixed it and just let it sit there while I painted. And that allows it to thicken up just enough that, you'll have an easier time keeping it on the top and not going over. So you could stop right here with just how, pretty that resin. Well, you can stop at the painting, of course. But then if you choose to do resin, then you could stop here, and it just gives it that beautiful glass-like finish. But I'm going to add a few embellishments that I pulled. See how it makes the colors just pop? Just makes it extra special. Now, I want to say this. If you do use resin, blow out your candle before you use your butane torch. So we're going to move that to the side. I don't even think that's the right lid for it, but I'm going to put that there. Okay, so now I'm going to take my butane torch and be sure it's on the low to medium setting here. I don't want a really long, 6-inch flame. And then turn it to the on position. And we're just going to pop all the bubbles with just a little low heat or low flame. And I do have a little stick here to kind of pull it to the edges. Okay, we'll pop it again in a minute. But I have these little pieces. I was thinking, what can I use for those? And you can use these little rhinestone things if you want to, if you have those. But I was really trying to find something gold, and I thought, well, I could cut glass, but it's not going to be gold. It'll be more of a yellow. Well, I have these. Or, it's just like a little flower, and you put like a bead or something in the center, and it's metal. So I just took my little wire cutters and cut all of these off into these little pieces. So look around and see what you have, when you're doing stuff like this. And I'm going to take my little needle nose pliers and just kind of bend that down. And then you can put these, let's see what would look best. Maybe probably just lay it down like that. Just kind of see what you have. Oh, that looks, see, I cut that one short. That might be perfect. Let's see where mine. So I bet if I cut the end off, that would be even better. Probably only 3 is all I need. Grab a toothpick. I know, isn't it cute? I do giveaways sometimes, like if somebody purchases a kit from me, sometimes I'll put them in there. If I know that you've never done resin before, like sometimes people say my first time, and they buy a kit from me, I will send one. Just things like that. I don't send them in every kit. They're more of a little Happy Meal kind of surprise, So something like that. And then I pulled these little plastic acrylic little rounds because I really like his hair when I do the hair this way. I like how it looks, and I didn't want to cover it up, but I thought these little rounds would be cute to put on there. Also good to have while you're working with resin is some inexpensive little tweezers that you can just clean off and then use over and over. Oh, that would be cute. Have those. So it's giving you the dimension, but still leaving his cute little curly hair showing. How cute. I like that. And then I have all these little rhinestones to put, let's see, 2, 4, 6, 8. I think those large ones will be good. Yeah. Isn't that cute? So this is a great way to take something really simple, like that little simple painting, and zhuzh it up and make it special. But it's just fun. Use what you have. If you have jewelry that you don't wear anymore, cut it up and keep the little beads, keep the little rhinestones, recycle. Look at yard sales when you pass one in your neighborhood and see if they have any old jewelry that you can use. Or you can get it from Amazon. But I like to think outside the box, and if I have something I can use, and I think that's really it for that. I think that's all he needs. Take a look. And then look how much resin we have, y'all. This is crazy. I am going to put more kind of all around. I've got plenty to use on other things because this is just a 4-inch. So no dinner for me. I've got to get my things out that need resin and do those real quick so that I can use up this resin. And what I do is I will put this over on that other desk that I told you all about, and it's a level, and then I'll check it, you know, in about 15 minutes, I'll check it to be sure nothing has moved. But we did wait, you know, we mixed our resin and then waited to the end to use it. So it's already thickening, and so it's not going to move. But if these pieces, like if it wasn't a little bit thick, you might have one of these little things move over to the side and you just put it back with your tweezer, or one of these might move. So I'll check it, but I don't expect that anything's going to move. Let's pop the bubbles one last time. And once you've got your acrylic or your little rhinestone, you know, you kind of just do a quick once over. You don't want to chance hurting them or whatever. And that's it. Let's see what y'all are saying. Pretty with the resin. Thank you. He's handsome. Thank you. Love the juju. Yes, it adds extra dimension. When he's sitting on a shelf, it's just so cute to have, you know, the little embellishments on it. I couldn't see the bubbles till I stood up. All right, that's it. Does anybody feel more relaxed than when they got here? Let me know. Thank you, Judy. I haven't seen you do any resin lately. I think you've done resin, right? I know you have. But I hope you guys will, some of y'all will try it. Let me know what you think. I'm sorry I had trouble with this live, and I'm always trying to do better, but thanks for sticking it out and watching. You have? Yeah, I thought so. Well, let me see you try something soon. Hope you guys have a wonderful evening. VIP friends, I have a good one for you tomorrow, so I'll be live with you at 6 Central in the VIP group, and then again on Thursday for our paint night. So I hope that you guys don't get tired of me. Oh, good, Patty. I'm so glad. Listen, this is the place to be if you want to be encouraged. Hang out with us anytime. And I'm really not on Facebook to go live or anything, but I have a page there that I'm active on. I do talk to everybody all day, every day, you know. But I have a private group if you're ever interested. Just go to artgracepaint.com and you can read all about it. But I hope y'all have a wonderful night, and I will see you soon. VIPs, I'll see you tomorrow. Love you guys. Thank you. Bye-bye.